Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. It is 4:44 on Tuesday, February 11th. Today is day 11 of 4:44 a.m. with Michelle, and I'm excited to have you guys here this morning. Today, we are going to talk about macronutrients as well as the difference between a disciplined body and a body focused on appearance, which is weight loss or weight gain. So we're going to talk about those today as we dive in. The other thing I want to talk about this morning before we get started is change in routine. So morning's routines, I have this same routine I do every morning. I get up, do my bathroom stuff, I get ready, I grab my water and my half a protein bar, and I sit down and I do my God time. And then I either do my exercises or do whatever I have planned for that morning on my rest days. That's pretty consistent. Then I get my kids up, get them off to school, start work. But what happens when you get a snow day? And so now I have e-learning with 2 kids, and we get to figure out how to navigate that as well. So the nice part about that is I get to have that time that I would normally be doing my school routine, and we switch it up and I get some of my work done then. So the time is still important. Just kind of have to change with how it's flowing based off of it. So this morning, I still had my protein bar. I've got my water. As soon as I get off here, I'll do my God time. I'm going to run 3 miles today after that, and then take my shower and eat some breakfast. Instead of getting the kids up and getting them ready, I'm going to start working for a little while and get some of my stuff done before I wake them up. Then I'll get them up, get them on e-learning, and get them ready for their day while I work. So that's what happens sometimes when you have a great morning routine. You got to flux a little bit and change. In this case, it kind of works for my benefit, even though it'll be a little bit more stressful and a little bit more chaotic and unroutine, but it still will be good. So that's just a little bit on things change, and we got to roll with it a little bit. Okay, so let's talk macronutrients for today. We are on day 4 of talking about nutrition, and then tomorrow will be our last day on nutrition. So today we are going to talk about macronutrients. Your macronutrients are your top 3, which are your carbs, your fats, and your protein. So really looking at calories and how much we're bringing in and how your body is breaking it down, and then looking at the carbs, fats, and protein. So let's start with carbs. Carbs kind of get a bad rap sometimes. There are really 2 types of carbs. There are good carbs and bad carbs. And what carbs do, carbohydrates, is they are really the primary fuel source for your brain. They also help your red blood cells and your nervous system. So without them, you function a little bit differently. Your simple or complex carbs, your simple carbs are your sugars, your fruit juices, and your fruit. Those carbs really help raise your blood sugar. So if you think of diabetics that have to get some orange juice to help raise their blood sugar really quickly, that concept is also the same on everyday people. So if you're eating too much fruit and too much sugaries, it will raise your blood sugar quite a bit. Your complex carbs are your unrefined whole grains, your legumes, and your vegetables. Legumes are like peas and beans, things like that. And those are the carbs that we want to bring in. When I talked about how our body breaks down different foods, this is part of that conversation of the complexity versus the simplicity of simple and complex carbs. So one other thing that I like to throw in there, which is kind of fun, is even in the Lord's Prayer, it says, "Lord, give us this day our daily bread." There is the keto diet that a lot of people like to pull carbs out altogether. And for some people, for specific purposes and reasons, it does work. It is a diet. But introducing those carbs back in that really help fuel your brain, it can be hard on people. So again, diets are specific for a reason, and it's in a time frame. It's not something that your body is built to hold on to long term for most people. Fats. So fats play a pivotal role in protecting your organs, insulating the body, and producing hormones, and also aiding in vitamin absorption. So if you're a person that takes vitamins, if you're not getting enough fat in your body, it's actually not pulling all of the nutrients from the vitamins that you actually need. It ends up passing through your system. So we have to get enough fats in our system to help pull through, insulate ourselves, and really protect our vital organs. So there are 4 types of fats: too good and too bad. Your good fats are your monosaturated fats and your polysaturated fats. Your bad fats are your saturated and your trans fats. So tomorrow we're going to look at how to read a label to be able to kind of see those. Your saturated fats are really the ones that give you high cholesterol. So if you're looking to lower your cholesterol, you want to look at those labels and understand which ones of those are those high saturated and trans fats that will, and you pull those out of your diet, it will help lower your cholesterol. The next one is protein. Protein is my favorite. Protein helps repair your tissues. I've talked before about when we rest at night. If we're lifting heavy or pulling or tearing our muscles in order to rebuild them, you need that protein in order to repair the rips and tears of your thing. And I'm not talking about like a major tear. When you work out, and we'll talk about this a little bit more when we talk about movement and exercise, your body breaks down those muscles, tears them a little bit, and the protein comes in and rebuilds them. And that's how your muscles grow. So protein repairs the tissues and your muscles. It synthesizes your immune protective antibodies. So when we talk about sick season and when colds start to come in, protein is one of the things. If you're getting enough protein in your diet, it will help build your immune system so you're less likely to get sick. It creates enzyme, produces hormones, balances pH, and it also transports your nutrients in and out of your cells. So protein is required to build muscle and maintain and repair the existing muscle. The goal that I like to go by for the majority of people is when we go onto a healthy lifestyle, it's about looking at how many calories you're bringing in for a day and how many grams of protein you're bringing in for a day. So based off of your goals, most people need 0.75 grams of protein per their ideal body weight. If you can get up to about 1 gram, that would be ideal. So if we look back at our examples from yesterday, if we have a 150-pound 50-year-old woman, she's going to need about 150 grams of protein if she wants to continue to build muscle, stay healthy. And that is actually a lot of protein. As you get older, your body doesn't need so much. So we could really back her down to about 0.75. For our 197-year-old, 20-year-old male, he's going to need quite a bit more protein than our woman would. And so you're looking at like 175 grams a day of protein in order for him to maintain where he's at as well as build. Again, it's a little different based off of every person. And that's why we can really go in and dive down into exactly what you need. So that is my information this morning on macronutrients. The other thing I wanted to cover is we talked yesterday about being accepting of ourselves and the purpose that God has for us and the plan that he has for us. So when we talk about having a disciplined body versus focusing on appearance or weight gain or weight loss, that's really our overall goal. So the first part of a disciplined body is to be accepted. Be accepting of ourselves for the plan that God gave us. The next one that I want to talk about this morning is to be grateful for that body. A lot of the times, almost every morning when I remember, I'm just thankful to be alive, awake, healthy, being able to walk. You hear so many stories of people that one day were not able to walk when they woke up for multiple different reasons. So I'm so thankful and grateful that I get to do that. 1 Corinthians 7:7 says, "But each of you has your own gift from God. One has this gift and one has another gift." And that really goes to being grateful and not comparing. We want to compare ourselves to everybody else, but not everybody else has the plan that God has intended for you. So really be grateful of what you have, what your body structure looks like, what your purpose is, and that will really build that positivity in your life as well. 1 Corinthians 15:57 also says, "But thanks be to God, He gives us the victory through our Lord Jesus Christ." We already hold the victory, and we forget that a lot of the times. God's given us skills and the mindset that we need, and we just have to tap into that and make sure that we're holding on to that. So really be thankful and know that you already hold the victory. The next one that I want to go over is to be disciplined. Discipline, 1 Corinthians 10:23 says, "I have the right to do anything, you say, but not everything is beneficial. I have the right to do anything, but not everything is constructive." So when we think of the choices that we make throughout the day, really ask yourself, is this beneficial? Is it constructive? Yes, we have free will and we can do a lot of different things, but we have choices that we need to make throughout the day. And just, I would ask yourself, is it beneficial and is it constructive? The last one that I want to go over today is be careful. Food and drink are a huge part of our society. We'll talk more about that a little bit tomorrow too, but Proverbs 23:20-21 says, "Do not join those who drink too much wine or gorge themselves on meat, for drunkards and gluttons become poor, and drowsiness clothes them in rags." That overindulgence side that it's talking about there is really that instant gratification, and it is short-lived. Do you ever think about when you go out to eat, or if you have a dessert in the house and you end up eating too much, you start to feel lethargic and tired and kind of gross. And that feeling is where we really, we had that instant gratification and it was great and it tasted good, but now I'm kind of suffering for it and I really don't feel good. That's where we really got to look at moderation. There was a quote from Pastor Tony Scott that said, "What you do in moderation, your children will do in excess." And it's really true when you look at our kids learn from us and they understand the habits that they get come from us. One of the things that I started when my kids were little was I don't believe in fully just denying. So telling kids they can't have something, they got to learn to make the choices themselves. So what we started to do was we taught them how to read a label, a nutrition label, and play with the scale, and they could actually do it themselves. And so when after dinner, when the kids want some type of dessert or treat or snack, they actually can get it themselves. They can put it on the scale and weigh out one serving of it. And that really helps them understand that they can have what they want. They can make that choice to have it, but they can have it in moderation. So that's just a little bit about the first 3 out of 6, 4 of the disciplined body versus a weight loss focused body. And that will really help. One of the other things I want to just remind you as you're kind of listening over this podcast, if you're hearing things that kind of make you feel convicted, say, maybe I want to change that. Maybe I want to look at that. Reach out and let me know. I'm happy to hear it. But remember that conviction is really starting the process of change versus a condemnation where you just feel shameful and not good about yourself. So if you're feeling that tug to change something, let's start changing it together. Don't let that shame set in from where you haven't been ideal in what you want to do. So action steps. I will see you guys tomorrow. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can join me live like Tammy and Katie did this morning. And I will be happy to hear comments. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if there's topics you want me to cover. I'll be happy to cover something for you. And have a wonderful day. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.